Hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video we will see how an aircraft takes off, how it climbs, how it dives, how it take turn like this. Okay. When an aircraft starts moving in air, what will happen? The forces acting on an aircraft are when it is in air like this, there's an inertia force acting in the opposite direction, whereas the thrust generated by the engine is helping the aircraft to move forward. So that force is opposed by the inertia force. So also we have the weight of the object is weight of the aircraft is acting downwards. This is the center of gravity somewhere here. Somewhere here this is center of gravity and through which the weight of the aircraft is acting downwards. Also there is a the air which is trapped under this one tend to lift the aircraft like this. So these are the forces. So we have inertia force or a drag force, then there is a lift force, this weight of the object is acting downwards, and also the thrust generated by the engine. So these are the forces acting on an aircraft. Now let us have a look at the airplane wings and tails. The wings and tails of an aircraft are not made as a single solid piece. They have many movable parts, and which is controlled by the pilot by using a fly-by-wire system. Now, also the most fascinating thing about the wing of the aircraft is that the cross-sectional view of the wing of an aircraft is not a plain solid piece like this. So, but it has got a shape like this. It is called similar to this mouse. It's called aerofoil structure. Now, when what will happen when an object is moving like this, air will come hit like this, and air splits like this. Now, a part of the air will move upwards like this and glides over the surface and move like this, whereas a part of the air will pass like this. Now this is the case when it is parallel like this, but in the case when the airplane is when there is a slight turn, like when this aerofoil slightly, when this angle of attack, this angle increases, what will happen is air will hit here. Okay, now a part of the air will come move like glides over this, and it separates from here like this. It separates from here and moves like this, whereas a part of the air will hit here, and that pressure, that air which is hitting from the bottom will exert a pressure. So that is called a lift force. So this, in the case of an airfoil structure, the pressure acting on this upper surface and lower surface, this pressure will be lower, and this the pressure which is acting from the bottom will be high. So this higher pressure will tend to lift the aircraft, and this lift force will be high when the angle of attack is high. So when aerofoil is like this, when this angle is more, the attack force, the lift force will be more. So this is the working principle of this is the principle by which an aircraft takes off. Now let us see see what are the various components of an aircraft. Here you have so this is the cockpit, and this is the fuselage or body where the passengers and passengers are present, and also luggages are placed, etc, etc. Now here you have the engine which generate thrust, and the inside this wing only fuel will be stored. Fuel tank will be inside this wing, or maybe sometimes it may be inside the body also. Now this wing is mainly used for getting maintaining stability, and also for getting high lift. Now here you have backside, you have this is called vertical stabilizer, which control the vertical stabilizer, and here this is called elevator. Okay, or this is called horizontal stabilizer, and here you have this vertical stabilizer. You have rudder. Here you can see blue color thing, that is a rudder. It can be turned like this. It can be turned like this based on the which direction you want to turn. Now similarly, this horizontal stabilizer, you have elevator. This yellow thing is the elevator. So here you have elevator. This is the elevator, which will help to pitch the aircraft. Okay, now wing, you have here you have a spoiler, okay, or slats. This is a slat, and you have spoiler. The slats and spoiler will help to generate lift. It will slightly bend like this, so that more air can be trapped. Now also we have flaps. Here this yellow color is the flap. So when this flap will help to produce lift force. Also we have aileron here. Here blue color, this is the aileron. This aileron will help to rotate the body. Now let us see what are the various types of motions of an aircraft. Here when an aircraft, this motion is called pitching. Okay, so this is pitching. These two motions are called pitching. So this is pitching, that is diving. This is the climbing, and this is the pitching in which the aircraft is diving. So this motion is called pitching, in which you have two motions, climbing and diving. Now we have another motion called rolling. Rolling is the rotation of the aircraft along a horizontal axis. Okay, axis like this. So this is called rolling. And also we have yawing. Okay, this is called yaw. That's turning like this. So this is rolling, and this is yawing, and this is called pitching. Now to take off, the action which is required is the motion which is required is the pitching. So let us see how pitching, how aircraft takes off. Now when the engine is started, and when the engine picks up speed and starts moving over the runway, as the runway will be approximately 3 to 4 kilometer long. Now towards the end of the runway, since the plane is very heavy object, it needs long runway, whereas in the case of a fighter plane, the runway will be shorter and its power will be more. But here the weight is very weight of an aircraft is large one, so it need a long runway to take off. So towards the end of the runway, once the speed is sufficient to take off, what will happen is, here you have this slats will come forward. Okay, slats will come forward, and here then we have this okay, so more air will trap here. Now what will happen is, these flaps will come downwards like this. So these flaps will come downwards, so air will come and hit from bottom. Okay, so more air will be trapped there. Okay, but the lift force is not sufficient to lift this aircraft. So more air will be coming and hitting from here. More because of this slat and this flaps movement, what will happen is, air will be trapped here, and this air will hit from bottom, but the lift force is not sufficient to generate the sufficient lift. So what will happen is, towards the at the takeoff point, what will happen is, with the help of fly-by-wire system, the pilot will activate this elevator. Elevator will be lifted upwards. So when this elevator is lifted upwards, what will happen is, a part of the air from here will come and hit here. So this air, when the air hits from top here, backside, the aircraft will be lifted like this. Okay, so what will happen is, there is a slight pitching happens. So the aircraft will be lifted like this, and what will happen is, further more and more air will hit here, because the pitch angle is more. Okay, so the attack angle will be more, air attack angle will be more. So the thrust is acting like this, and the air is hitting here. So this will help the aircraft to take off. So okay, so that's how the aircraft takes off. Now in the same way, when the aircraft want to, this upward motion is called climbing. So when this force will be balanced like this till the aircraft reaches the maybe 10 or 11 kilometers. Okay, now level of flight is around 10 to 11 kilometers. So when it reaches there, what will happen is, slightly this flap and the slats will be elevator, and also all these devices will be slightly controlled in such a way that this lift force reduces and it stabilizes. Now once at the level of flight, what will happen is, the opposing force only need to be equal to the thrust. So now the aircraft starts flying like this. Now when the aircraft want to land, now the aircraft want to dive like this. So what will happen is, in that case, this elevator will be turned downwards, so that air will come and hit here. So it will slightly move. When the air attacks from bottom here, this elevator will be turned like that. Just it will be bend. It will bend like this. So okay, now air will come and hit from here bottom. So the aircraft will start diving like this. So now it is diving. So as it reaches the runway, near runway, what will happen is this this slat will be lifted upwards, so that air will come and hit from top. So it will now it is parallel to the ground. Now it lands, and okay, so now to reduce the speed, what will happen is sometimes the engine will be operated in the reverse direction, so that air will be thrown in the reverse direction. So in that way, an air brake will help the aircraft to land. Now one more motion is there, how an aircraft takes turn. Now when the aircraft is flying like this, if now when after takeoff, what will happen is the aircraft want to take a turn means this rudder will help to take turn. When the rudder is turned like this, if it want to take towards right side, this rudder will be turned towards right, so that air will come and hit here and aircraft will turn like this. But this sudden turn like this, the passenger won't be comfort. Okay, so what will happen is now to take a turn, what will not the rolling action and pitch. This action is called yawing. Okay, this is called yawing. If yaw action is done only, so the passenger won't be comfort. So we need a centrifugal force. To generate a centrifugal force, yawing and rolling is to be done. So this action, instead of this turn, we need to turn like this. This is how the aircraft turns, like this. A turn like this. Instead of turning like this, just turning like this, it turns like this, yawing and rolling. So these two are done. So how it is done? This rudder will help to will produce the yawing action, whereas here you have these two, and here you have two ailerons. This aileron, this side, if you want to take right turn, this rudder is turned right side, and this aileron on the right side wing will be lifted upwards, and the other will be lowered. So air will this is once it is lifted upwards, air will come and hit here. This will help the aircraft to move like this. A centrifugal force will be produced, and the aircraft will be moving like this, and this help to this produces a centrifugal force, and the passenger will be comfort. So in the same way, if we want to take a right turn, left turn, the same the reverse thing will be done. So this rudder will be turned towards left, and this will be lifted, and that will be lowered. So in that way, the aircraft takes turn. So at the time, and once the journey is over, the aircraft lands. So that is how the aircraft takes off, lands, and takes turn.